Hi besties, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's 45-minute survival reset featuring a doggo who thinks she's helping. On my mental health / therapy journey, there's been an awful lot of ups and downs, which is very, very normal. And the last couple of days before I filmed this video, I'd had a couple of down days. It had been also my husband Corey's birthday, so we'd had a party for him as well as some friends over and a barbecue and games day on Easter weekend. So the house was pretty trashed, which was fine because that is evidence that a lot of people we love were here and we had an awful lot of fun. But it did mean that once that was over, I sort of struggled to get the house back to rights. I had work to do, I had uni assignments on the go, and there was basically just a lot to do, and I just honestly couldn't face cleaning up the house. But the day that I filmed this, it had all gotten a bit too much looking at how disgusting the house was, so I decided to just do the best that I could. I was having panic attacks for about 2 days. This was the second day, so I was really struggling. So this is a very slow reset, and it's not a clean as such. I didn't do the floors or dusting or scrubbing toilets or bathrooms or anything like that. I just really wanted to reset the house, tidy up, cycle the laundry and cycle the dishes and get rid of all the rubbish and recycling. You know what it's like after you have a birthday in the house. There's bags everywhere, there's gift bags, there's bottles, there's cans, there's gift wrap and everything like that. So I just wanted to get rid of all of that and just basically make the house look a little bit neater. I didn't film it, but I also changed the cat litter so that we didn't risk having any bad smells lingering around the house. If you're new here, this is Ajani. He's our domestic short hair rescue cat. I got him when he was about 6 months old, after he'd been dumped behind a dumpster with his mum and all of his litter mates. He was the last of his litter to be adopted. I don't know why, but nobody wanted him. So he was about 6 months old by the time I found him on an adoption website and picked him up. He is a little bit of a pain. He's not the most affectionate cat in the world. He basically just wants treats all the time, but he is affectionate in his own way. He loves me more than he loves anyone else, which is, makes me feel pretty good about myself. But other than that, he pretty much just sits around and sleeps. He's not a very playful cat, but when I'm cleaning the house, he does like to sort of hang around and observe. Now, you'll notice that today's video is not sped up at all. I've been trying this lately. I feel like so many cleaning videos now are, yes, they're very motivating, and I love to watch the videos that are highly edited, highly sped up. It's very satisfying to watch those time lapses, but sometimes when you're struggling, I feel like it can be a little bit discouraging because it makes it look like you're just going to get up and in 15 minutes you'll have everything done. Now, for example, on the day that I filmed this video, I decided that I was going to make a video and I was confident that it was going to be called the 15-minute realistic survival reset. And I was feeling so down and so tired and so worn out that when I got up and started, I had barely gotten anything done at the 15-minute mark, which is why it became a 45-minute survival reset. It's really interesting how long things can take you when you're struggling, and I just want you to know that that is normal, and that's fine. I'm proud of you if you got up and did one thing today, even if you just emptied the trash, cycled a load of laundry, or folded a load of laundry, or made a phone call or sent an email, just ticked one thing off your to-do list. Even if you did a grocery order, I'm proud that you did something, because I know firsthand how hard some of those things can be when you just want to watch a comfort show and just lie in your bed like a zombie. But I guess my disclaimer for today's video is that it is not sped up. So if you're looking for a highly edited, sped up, highly motivating cleaning video today, this is probably not the one for you, and you should maybe look elsewhere. Obviously, I want you to watch my videos, but if you need to look for something else, that's totally fine. But this is for the besties who are struggling and just want some company in a realistic time frame, so that, you know, we don't get these unrealistic standards all the time on the internet of, hey, look, clean your house, it will only take 5 minutes. Sometimes it's slow, sometimes it takes a while, but as long as you're doing your best and still getting it done, that is totally fine. Normally, I really wouldn't include changing the bedding as part of a survival reset. I feel like doing the bare essentials does not include changing the bedding because it is a big job and it can be really hard work when you're struggling. But because I've been spending so much time in bed lately, I've been working from bed, especially my computer is missing a part at the moment. It's a long story, so I can't even use it. So I have no choice but to work from bed at the moment with Corey's gaming laptop, which is fine because, you know, I'm comfy, got the TV, got the pets, they're having a great time. But because I'm, you know, working from bed, studying from bed, because I'm an online uni student as well, plus sleeping and whatever, watching TV, reading, I'm trying to change the sheets even more often than I was. And I'm going to be real because we always want to be real with the besties. I was so annoyed because I changed these sheets. I was so proud of myself for making the effort to get the sheets changed. And this night, when Corey got home from work, we defleed and dewormed the pets because they were due for it. Now, I'm not a veterinarian. I don't know exactly how defleeing works. Please let me know in the comments if you know. But I feel like I read somewhere that there's, after you deflea a pet, the fleas don't just die on the pet, they will actually leap off the pet. Like the poison will obviously, you know, get to them and they will actually almost shed, I think the word was that I read. They shed off the pet. So because our pets are near our bed, Rory doesn't sleep in our bed, but like she will lie on it and have a nap during the day. She's not there at night time, but Ajani loves to sleep on the bed. He usually curls up next to me on top of the covers every night. And I feel like what happened is we defleed him. He slept on the bed that night, and I think fleas must have got into the bed. I hate saying that because it sounds disgusting, but the thing is, if you've got pets, it's kind of a fact of life. They're hairy and they have fleas. Because Corey woke up the next morning and messaged me from work and said, we have to change the sheets again. I have little bug bites all over my arms and legs. Now, I'm not convinced it was fleas because I was totally fine, but giving the benefit of the doubt. So I had quite simply just changed the sheets and Corey was like, we have to change them again. And I was like, are you joking? So the next day after filming this, I put all the dirty sheets into the wash, washed them all, got them all dry. And yeah, never again. I'm going to start trying to line up defleeing the pets with the day that the sheets get changed. I'd really love to know if any of you are readers. Let me know in the comments. I feel like I want to get to know some of you that are coming back regularly, watching the videos, liking them. I appreciate you all. And I want to get to know the community a little bit more. I'm a big reader, have been ever since I was little. I did go through a bit of a slump about a year ago or 6 months ago even, but I'm definitely back on it. Gilmore Girls is my favourite show ever. And I've discovered on Reddit there's a Rory Gilmore reading challenge. It's made up of 408 books, and basically super fans of Gilmore Girls have gone through the whole series and they've noted down books that she's seen reading, books that she references, books that are seen on her shelf when she's at Yale or at home, or books that her grandparents give her as gifts, and they've made it into this massive challenge. So it's pretty daunting in how long it is, but what I did was download it and delete everything that I've already read in my life and anything that I didn't agree with, because I know the show fairly well. So for example, there's a side character that reads Yoga for Dummies. I'm not going to read that, and Rory never reads it. So yes, our dog Rory is named after Gilmore Girls. Correct. Well done. So I've started working through that because I felt like I was getting in a rut. I was reading the A Court of Thorns and Roses series, and then I really got into that kind of more adult fantasy realm, and I was reading a lot of that. I did the whole ACOTAR, all the Sarah J. Maas books, Fourth Wing, and I was just getting so bored because it's all just kind of the same, and I'm just not really a big fantasy fan. I've discovered I was getting very bored with having to keep up with all the world building that's in books like that. And I felt like they were just really brain rot books, which is fine. I love a brain rot book. I do a lot of study for uni, so it's nice to read something that is not terribly involved or hard to follow. But like I said, I just felt like I was in a rut. I like to feel like I'm sort of expanding my brain a little bit when I'm reading. So I thought that doing a challenge like that would force me to read other books that I wouldn't normally buy or pick up or choose to read. It's been great so far. I'm obviously not just reading that. I'll tend to read a book that I choose to read that I find on Amazon or World of Books, which is great if you're looking for secondhand books in Australia. There's a lot of deals on there where you can get popular books that are a lot cheaper because they're pre-loved. So I'll sort of read one from the challenge, read one that I've picked up from somewhere else. I get a lot of books from those little libraries that they have on the street or in parks, the take a book, leave a book. I've found some really good ones that way, but I read The Shadow of the Wind, 100 Years of Solitude. They were great ones from the Rory Gilmore list. And I've just started one called The Master and Margarita, which is so interesting. And I've only read 2 chapters and I'm already hooked. It is kind of a little bit difficult to follow in a way. There's a lot of... It depends how you read, but the way I read, I like to annotate. There's a lot of like looking up definitions, looking up Latin phrases. There's a lot of footnotes to explain different phrases and references in the book as well. But I am absolutely loving it. It's basically about... it's by a Russian author who was really censored by the Soviet Union in his life. He died in 1951, I think. And so the book was actually never published during his lifetime. And it's just, so far, it's really humorous, it's really thoughtful, and it's about basically the devil comes to a town as part of a carnival and has all these people start to follow him. And it's also linked with a guy who is in a lunatic asylum, and he had written a fictional story about the life of Pontius Pilate. It's so interesting. No spoilers, but I'm loving it. So if you're a reader and you feel like you're in a rut, look up a reading challenge. Even if Gilmore Girls isn't the one for you, there's plenty out there, and it's really worthwhile to just try and find something else, because I honestly thought that I would hate a lot of the books on the list because they sounded weird, they sounded dry, they're like nothing I've read before. But the attraction for me to keep going with the challenge, as it turns out, is that they are like nothing I've read before. It's so refreshing to read a book and say, wow, this doesn't remind me of anything else I've ever read. It doesn't follow the same plot line as this. I wasn't able to predict what was going to happen. The man and the woman don't necessarily get together and live happily ever after at the end. So it's been great. If you have any recommendations of books that are like psychological thrillers, crime novels, what else do I like? Classic literature that is not too hard. Like one day I'll read the Iliad, which I think is on the Rory Gilmore reading list. Today is not that day. I don't have the brain capacity. But anything like that, feel free to drop your recommendations down in the comments, and maybe we'll all find a new book that we love that way. Now, we are getting close to the end of the video, I've just realised, because I've quite simply been sitting here yapping away to you besties. I hope that the video has been motivating for you, or even if it's not motivating, I hope it kept you company. I hope that it made you feel more normal and like not everyone is out there kicking goals every single day. At the end of the day, I think we're all just trying to do the best that we can with the struggles that we're facing, whatever they are, whether they're mental struggles, physical struggles. Maybe you're going through grief, maybe you're feeling lonely, maybe you hate your job. It could be absolutely anything. I'm sorry for whatever you're going through, but you can get through it, because the stuff that I've gone through lately, I was convinced could not be fixed. It can. I love you. Thank you for watching. Have an amazing day.